Gert, you presented some very stark statistics around the real and current threat of cyber attack, including the $3 trillion cost of a cyber attack to the world economy, the fact 90% of crew had never received any cybersecurity training or guidelines, 95% of breaches were caused by human error, and 43% of crew have sailed on a vessel that has been compromised by a cyber incident. It's pretty stark.
Yes, and that actually explains also why it's so good to have these types of events, because the matter of the fact is that cyber and cyber threats are hitting the maritime industry, and therefore we as an industry need to take action to that.
So to that end, what do we need to do?
Well, first and for all, as already indicated in the numbers, is a bit about education. We need to train the industry about the risks which are there, but education is only one layer. When you're facing a cyber threat, then obviously there is a continuous threat, so you have to always be on it's not a one-off activity, so it's about training, but it is about implementing the right technology, it is about making sure that those policies are adhered to, so it's actually a whole area of activities which need to be done. There is not a single solution to the cyber threat. It's multi-layered.
What for you were the key takeaways from the debate we've just gone through?
Well, it's very interesting to see that both from an insurance perspective, but also from a legal perspective and then from an operational perspective, there are many stakeholders who have an interest to address this, because there is so much at risk. So it's definitely very good to see that there is this broad range. Also from an attendee perspective, you see owners, you see insurance people, you see basically the whole industry being represented, and I think that is actually also the way to address this.
In your day-to-day business life, where are you seeing the most inquiries when it comes to cybersecurity and maritime?
You mean geographically, or
Both geographically and by vessel type.
Yeah, well, it's already highlighted that, for instance, a bulk carrier with limited amount of connectivity is a different type needs a different type of approach than an LNG vessel. So it's obvious that the more advanced and connected vessels are the first ones to move. What we do see that from an Inmarsat perspective, more and more vessels are getting bigger and broader pipe, bigger connectivity, and therefore those vessels obviously are the first to get more exposed and therefore need to act.
As Inmarsat, you'll be very aware that there's a lot of talk around unmanned ships and fully automated vessels. What are the implications there?
Yeah, it's a very valid point. What we're looking into the crystal ball, that drone vessel is coming. And that means that we need to make sure that those vessels are secure. On the other hand, we also learned today that a lot of cyber risks are introduced by humans. So potentially we can actually reduce the cyber risk by having an unmanned vessel. But yeah, on all, we are participating, for instance, together with Rolls-Royce in the so-called AWA program. And there, security is definitely one of the key points of consideration. Next to connectivity, because of course if you are an autonomous vessel, you need to have the appropriate connectivity to be connected to the shore-based who can control and operate the vessel.
So how would you future-proof such a vessel?
Well, future-proof in this sense, there is, as I already highlighted, it's a continuing. You can't just say now this vessel is cyber secure or is future-proof. It's a continuous activity. You need to continuously monitor what is there. You need to make sure that the whole industry is there, that the class is there, that the insurance are there, so the technology providers are there. So it's not a static thing. It's a dynamic market, and therefore it's also such an interesting market.
Finally, how have you found today's summit?
Yeah, very interesting. As highlighted, I think to see that there's a broad range of entities in the value chains are present. So it is not only the owners, but it is also the insurers. There is the legal side of it. So the technology providers, the security companies. So to have this whole community gathered, I think it's a very important activity, and therefore it's been very good so far.